one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. Just gotta mean something to you. They gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2 3. 1 2 3. Finish.
I can't even think about all of the shit I did to fit in. Past hard to watch like a fucking scary movie. I'm always happy to meet somebody that never knew me. Change for the better, hope niggas are living through me. I put it all on the wax so the people can know the true me. Hard to remain sane when the people you love the most is what's causing the damn pain. Y'all beef by the same thing, we ain't playing the same game. It's all for my family. She the girl of your fucking dreams, but to me she a plain Jane. You dipper and ball man, I duck when them calls came. This that higher level thinking. I'm the type to jump the fuck off for the shit before it's sinking. Not here for no new shit, my game slider boost it. Ain't I don't have to prove shit. Rockstar fight the fool shit. My movie, this the new script. I want a life with no bullshit, nigga. I know on these news clips. That's why I dap him and move quick. Won't be around when they move switch. Won't be around when they lose clips. Won't be around for they lose lips. Might be the reason they pull shit. Yeah.
Here come the bus.
Excuse me. Listen to me. You have to understand how serious or how much of a topic this means to me. For me to just be cutting this video or this show, and it's 14:47 left in the second quarter of this Monday Night Football game. 0-3 right now, Cardinals against the Patriots. But we ain't talking about this. We'll talk about this later on tonight. I just saw something while I was sitting here watching this game. I'm on my phone, eating, strolling through the web, seeing what's happening, seeing what happened today. I ain't really get a chance to watch too many shows today. And I see this clip from Undisputed this morning. And you already know what I'm talking about if you watch Undisputed this morning. And I'm watching them talk about Tom Brady. Now, I don't really watch these Tom Brady debates on Undisputed anymore because I don't really like Undisputed. I like Shannon Sharp. I think Shannon Sharp at times have most of the time Shannon got some unbelievable insight into things. Now, I done had my gripes with Shannon's personal shots. I don't think he take personal shots, but his critiques of Lamar Jackson to me don't seem fair. They seem half-assed, even though I think he's starting to actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot continue to tell me Lamar is this, he can't do this, he can't do that. He won a fucking unanimous MVP and ain't have a soul playing good outside. Like, he had no great weapons. He got Mark Andrews. That's all he done had since he got there. Don't tell me what he can't do when all these other quarterbacks who supposed to be the next Tom Brady can't win a Super Bowl and they got all this talent around them. Like, stop it. I'm not trying to hear that. So, I'm watching this clip of them talk about Brady, and out of nowhere, this dude Skip say he playing as great at 45 better than you did at 30 when you had to stop playing at 35. Like, he told Shannon that. Now, I done seen Skip take shots at Shannon multiple times. Like, I done seen multiple shows where Skip gets so childishly offended when he shouldn't. See, that's my problem. Skip Bayless get offended by shit that shouldn't even offend him. Because Shannon is literally never taking shots at Skip. He takes shots at Skip's teams. But I've never seen Shannon take a shot at Skip character. Or at Skip personally. Or at any other players personally. To irritate Skip. When Shannon feel like somebody is played good, he say it. When they play bad, he say it. Real quick, this is not about Monday Night Football, but I'm looking at another dude rolling around on the ground hurt on Monday. And that's like the fourth person that's done got hurt on Monday Night Football. And I hope this ain't who I think this is that's hurt. Oh, no, it's not. Buda Baker hop back up. It looked like Wilson, number 20. It don't look like that's who it is. But and prayers up to Kyler Murray. I'm pretty sure he tore his ACL or his Achilles tonight. So prayers up to Kyler Murray, hoping him a speedy recovery. But back to Skip, bitch ass. So he constantly, when he get irritated or he has no points in an argument, he just start pointing out stuff in Shannon's career. Like, he go at Shannon, like Shannon said today, as if he not a 3-time Super Bowl champion, one of the greatest tight ends of all time. Up until probably a decade ago, he was the greatest tight end all time until Rob Gronkowski got some accolades going. Shannon was widely regarded as the greatest tight end of all time. Even when Tony Gonzalez was playing. People who know football don't try to compare his stats with theirs because they know he played in an era where it was a run-heavy era. He played on the same team with Terrell Davis, the running back. I hope I just said his name right. And John Elway. You don't think John Elway would have loved to throw Shannon even more passes than he already thrown? If Shannon Sharp and John Elway played in today's NFL, Shannon Sharp would be putting up Rob Gronkowski numbers, except for he was a healthy person. He would be putting up all I don't know if anybody putting up Travis Kelce numbers. Travis Kelce is the greatest tight end of all time to me. I done came to that conclusion. I'm just playing. I said that to piss somebody off. But Shannon Sharp, while I was growing up, was the greatest tight end of all time. Behind him was Tony Gonzalez. Okay? Tight ends, in my opinion, as great as they were in the past, just recently started to become better than Shannon Sharp's. Because Shannon Sharp was the blueprint for a long time. And then the Tony Gonzalez came around. Then you get the Rob Gronkowski, the Murderer Hernandez, and all other type of great tight ends that we done seen. The Ozzie Newsome. Well, actually, that's an older dude. But you know what I'm saying. So for Skip to continuously take personal shots at this dude as if he Baker. And see, that's probably one of my biggest problems with Skip Bayless, because he seemed to do this shit a lot. When he already likes somebody, like Skip Bayless is not giving you one good argument defending Baker Mayfield. As a matter of fact, he give you the same argument every single. That's why I don't watch those segments no more, because the arguments are the exact same. Shannon find new ways to be critical and to tell you what's really happening, and Skip tell you the exact same excuses every time. He do it for Baker and he do it for Brady, and every single time Shannon is killing him in an argument or in a debate, he start taking personal shots at Shannon's career, as if Shannon is not one of the greatest tight ends to ever play the game. That's what's confusing to me. I wish I had the level of patience that a Shannon Sharp can have to sit across from a motherfucker who ain't never did it, never gon' do it, never could have did it, and he can insult me because he like Tom Brady, a dude who don't acknowledge him, a dude I ain't never seen say anything good about Skip Bayless. I have never seen Tom Brady acknowledge Skip Bayless. All the people I've ever seen this motherfucker Tom Brady done acknowledge Antonio Brown. I've never seen a time or remember a time where Tom Brady acknowledged Skip Bayless. Now, maybe they got some type of personal relationship going on, but I find it very hard to believe that Tom Brady would go this out of his way to have no parts to do with Skip Bayless, but Skip Bayless still love him the way he do. And I know it's Skip, because Kevin Durant don't like Skip Bayless. He done said that shit multiple times on Twitter. Skip Bayless still ride for that motherfucker as if that was his, like, they boys. So I know it's Skip. It's not Brady. I know it's Skip. I also know, as a former player that Shannon is, and as me, somebody who done played sports, obviously not at the level of a Shannon Sharp, but I played sports. I understand that the competitiveness that's there between, even though he retired, a Shannon Sharp and a Tom Brady. I get that. I get that competitive, lighthearted shots that Shannon might take at a time. Even when he retired, Shannon was like, yo, I wish somebody could have retired him, not him just choosing to retire. And he was shedding a tear because he know what Tom Brady, that's not a man who hate Tom Brady. He just breaking down what he see, which is my problem with sports media. Motherfuckers see something and they don't break it down to what they see. They tell you what they feel, what I think. No. Just tell me what you just saw, motherfucker, and then you can break it down from there. Don't try to rearrange what you just saw to make it fit the narrative that you wanted it to fit, which is what Skip Bayless do every fucking time they have a debate about a Brady. Do you not think that Shannon don't know Brady, the greatest all time? He done admitted that. Shannon just trying to talk about what he did this season. But Skip can't do that. And see, this is what really irritates me about the whole thing. Like I said, Shannon done had this happen to him multiple times. I'm not the type of person at this level yet where I can allow somebody to disrespect me the way Skip done disrespected Shannon and just think that shit cool because, oh, he wanted me to be on the show with him. because I'm really irritated with this idea of I owe Skip forever because he put me on this show. Who knows if Shannon would have ever got an opportunity to do something like this. All I know is you got the opportunity. Skip didn't perform it for you. You had to go out there and do that job. You had to go out there and do your homework. You had to go out there and do your research. You had to come up with these topics. The fans don't like you because of Skip. They like you because of you, because of what you say, because of what you stand on. Obviously, everything you say, people don't agree 100% with. 90% of shit Shannon Sharp say, people mostly agree with or have some type of feelings towards, where we can talk about it, where we not hating Shannon and whatnot. That's not the same with Skip. I don't know too many people that like Skip Bayless. And the people who I done heard say they watch him only say they watch him for ignorant reasons, not because they want to be informed, because I think that's the problem. We supposed to be watching these sports shows to be informed about things. These supposed to be teaching us things. What is Skip Bayless teaching anybody? I told y'all the first year I started this. These motherfuckers are getting on shows and being fans of their favorite teams and talking about it. They talking to you crazy about teams that say. That's why so many people can get on TV and down Lamar Jackson and uplift other white quarterbacks who they like, because their sons look like them. Their brothers, cousins, dads look like that white quarterback. I can see my brother in him. Once the media, the sports media, get rid of all that and they get more. See, I don't even have a problem with people being fans, but it feel like the people who openly are fans of teams are the only ones that's honest nowadays. Greeny is probably one of the best, not probably. Greeny, one of the best in sports media. He openly root for the Jets and he openly unbiased in sports. He tell you how he feel about things. If he feel a strong way towards something, he talk about it. He break down there. Greeny is exactly what's Pat McAfee. Like, hold up, I gotta think of some black people because I can't just leave my black people hanging. I wanted to say Stephen A. so bad, but I actually don't like Stephen A. As far as like his football takes. I think the only thing Stephen A. really break down great is basketball. But he do carry that network, and that motherfucker work hard. So Stephen A. Stuart Scott, man, the OG, the true legend, the dude who I thought was the GOAT I still do, to be completely honest with you. I respect everything Stephen A. is. But Scott, bro, growing up watching Stuart Scott is what made me want to get into talking sports. That's what made me look at sports from a different angle. Like, I still to this day remember sitting up watching Stuart Scott at night, hearing him talk about cool as the other side of the pillow. He was dropping that line almost every night. Seeing his daughters and like, bro, I loved Stuart Scott, bro. Loved him. So I can't really put Stephen A. right there. But you know what I'm saying. I just had to throw some black people in there. Let me throw some black women in there too. Lisa Salters, unbelievable at her job. I can't use Malika no more, bro. I can't use Malika. So we're going to use Shanae Agumake. What's my woman, man? Maria Taylor been killing Sunday Night for bruh. Every time Maria Taylor standing between Tony Dungy, Coach Dungy, and Jason Garrett, it's just crazy to me because she got like a couple inches on both of them. Now I understand she got on high heels, and I understand Coach Dungy older, so you know when you older you start shrinking a little bit because you know your body don't stand up the way it used to, so you lose a couple inches. Jason Garrett, ain't nothing wrong with that motherfucker. Maria Taylor must have been a hooper. She definitely was an athlete, but she must have been a hooper. Maria Taylor might have been a hooper. Bro, I wish they had women's football so I could, not that bikini bullshit. I actually would like to see one game of women's football to see what that shit would look like. Because that's something I never thought about really, because I never watched bikini sports. Like if I wanted to watch some bitches running around butt naked and shit, I just go watch pornos. But that's what's always confusing to me about dudes. Dudes love to be teased. I'm not really with that. I'm straight fucking. I'm getting to the fucking. Because I got things to do. Oh, but you know, you supposed to be making love, I don't got a wife. I got situations. But back to this motherfucker Skip Bayless, bro, because this dude is not getting off the hook. Shout out to Shannon Sharp, who possess a level of patience that I just pray one day I'm able to obtain. Because I just can't imagine sitting across from somebody, allowing them to disrespect me at the level of which Skip Bayless does, when I'm as accomplished of not just a player, I'm accomplished as a human being as Shannon Sharpe is, I'm bothered. And I get it. Shannon don't have to, talk about, oh, I do this, I do that. We know Shannon would squash. Shannon is a very respectful person. But I don't know how much respect I can have for somebody to continuously sit there and disrespect me just because they don't like my take. Just because what I'm saying about one of their favorite players don't hit right. You know what I'm saying? Especially, I understand if he was going out there just lying on Brady. Brady not playing great. I know I be capping for Brady on here. But what Shannon Sharpe saying is the gospel. I don't understand what's going on. And Skip gets so personal that he willing to take personal shots at Shannon Sharpe. How is that a friend? And then he'll try to flip the situation all the time and put it on Shannon somehow. And I'm like, it's no way Shannon is allowing this to happen, but the level of patience that he has is just far greater than anything I could ever have. Because, I'm ignorant as hell. I could be like, bro, I ain't letting no white man sit across from me disrespecting me like this. But, I'm growing. One of my best friends, I only got two best friends. E and I'm not going to, E and Tasia. So Tasia been my best, like that's my best friend, even though we ain't talking like a year, because that's on me though, because I'm not shit. But I haven't talked to E in a couple months either. E is white. That's my boy. That's like that's the closest I've ever been to a white person, right? Because I just didn't grow up around white people like that. E is my boy. I wouldn't let E sit across from no table and disrespect me at the level of which Shannon Sharpe continued to allow Skip to disrespect him. And I love E. I take a bullet for E. It's no fucking way. As much as I take that bullet for E, I will get up from across the table and beat the hell out of E if he disrespect. But see, that's the thing. E is a brother to me, base. He not gonna sit across the table. He not gonna sit beside me or nothing like that and disrespect me like Shannon continued to be disrespected by Skip. You see what I'm saying? He not gonna have playful banter that enter the level of a disrespect, and neither am I. So I don't understand how you can call somebody your brother, your friend, your best friend, your close friend, a brother to me, when it's so easy for you to disrespect him. And see, the funny thing is, I done had relationships like this, where you think for a second that you real close to somebody, but then you see the thing that finally get them to start disrespecting you, and how it's so easy for them to flip that switch, and you left thinking like, damn, that's all it took. So, bro, and I done already said FS1 need to do something about this motherfucker. I've been said I think Skip one of the worst analysts on TV. That controversy shit that people continue to say sells. Yeah, that whatever, bro. That to me, that is not what's. It's ignorant that does sell and sad. But this shit that I see on Monday, on these Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, that's not a good show. People literally only watch that shit to see them argue. The only time they sit down and have legitimate conversations where they actually having level-headed debates is when they talking about something that don't pertain to the Cowboys, when it don't pertain to the Tom Brady, when it don't pertain to Kevin Durant. And the sad part about this, most of the things Shannon is saying in most of these debates topics is fine. It's Skip and his bias, LeBron James. Shannon Sharpe, one of the biggest LeBron James fans I've ever seen in my life. I don't even see him. It is fine that he think LeBron is the GOAT. That's him. I'm not killing him for having an opinion and thinking that that's the GOAT. How many times do this motherfucker Skip bring up the fact that just because Shannon think this is the GOAT, he use arguments that make no sense when we talking about certain topics right here, right now? The level of hate that he decided he had for Steph Curry all of a sudden these past 2 years, and how unbelievably, I thought Max Kellerman, I thought Max Kellerman had some of the worst Steph Curry takes, like some of the most just ignorant Steph Curry takes I had ever seen. Nah. He top two. Skip Bayless got to be, Max still probably number. They tied, bro. because I'm listening to some of the dumb shit that Max done said already in my head. And every time he talk about Steph, he got these dumb ass excuses and shit like that. But I don't even see Shannon do that type of shit, bro. Like, one of the things that's really starting to piss me off, well, it ain't starting, it been pissed me off. You see, when I get on here and I talk to y'all, I have to walk a thin line. What's the thin line you gotta walk, Saint? I gotta make sure I do my best not to discredit athletes, to disrespect them in a sense of, like, I talk a lot of shit about Baker Mayfield, right? But I'm not telling you, I'm not getting on here just dogging Baker Mayfield just because I don't like Baker Mayfield. I'm legitimately breaking down. Now, I might end up saying some funny lines, some lines that might seem great. But I'm literally just breaking down what I'm watching from Baker Mayfield, right? I'm not, this dude, one of the worst quarterbacks I ever seen. He shouldn't be playing this game, blah, blah. He shouldn't be a starter. I don't think he one of the 30 best quarterbacks in football, but then again, that's a lot of fucking quarterbacks, so it really don't matter after you get past the top 10 to be complete with you. But I'm not getting on here discrediting the man and telling him, the man still did get to the NFL. He did win a Heisman in college. He had to be good enough to get to the NFL. Now, what he been doing in the NFL to me just ain't good enough. But I'm not discrediting this man's career. Excuse me. Like these other motherfuckers on TV seem to do. Not to mention, I brought up Baker Mayfield. These motherfuckers on TV is discrediting actual legends. From the motherfuckers who love discrediting Steph Curry, the ones who love discrediting LeBron, the ones who discredit Kevin Durant, the ones who discredit Kobe, the ones who discredit Peyton. It seemed like hell, you got people who discredit Tom Brady. So, to me, and it's always coming from motherfuckers who never did it. It'd be a whole complete different situation if I played the games, if I was a pro athlete, or if some of these motherfuckers were. I got no problem with a pro athlete retired being hypercritical. They played the game. Now, sometimes legends see the game in a weird way, and so they overcritical of players who will never be as good as they were. Those players just not gonna see the game the way you saw the game, because you a legend for a reason. You're a Hall of Famer for a reason. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about when they just critical because they played the game so I understand when they go into that level. But when they just simply critiquing the game on what they see, I'm going to trust in athletes. Now, it is some athletes who got stupid ass opinions. Like Orlando Scandrick is a bum. He was a bum when he played, and he a bum now when he on the mic. I don't care about discrediting dudes like that. I could care less when other people do. Because motherfuckers like him who was not that great getting on these. See, most of the athletes who wasn't that great, they on podcasts and they talk up about athletes and whatnot. And they talk about what they see, but they also make sure not to discredit athletes. Like Pat McAfee. He was actually a good punter. But then you get motherfuckers like Orlando Scandrick who get on TV or on his podcast on the computer and talk about Lamar Jackson can't throw. That level of ignorance, I could care less for that. You say what you want to about motherfuckers like that. I was enjoying it when Shannon was going at that motherfucker when he was a team. You sitting beside me. Why? Motherfuckers like that could care less about. That's a motherfucker who should not have made it. Nah, I'm not going to discredit. Even then, I can't even do that. I can't even discredit him to that level. But you got these motherfuckers who sit on TV discrediting every little thing that great players did. Orlando Scandrick is nowhere near a great player, so go ahead and throw that out there. But and you want to know what's so funny, too? If these dudes have, and these men and women, because I don't really see the women do it too much, but it's really the men who got this over-aggressiveness and these egos where they feel like they can test these athletes and take away their accolades. I told you before, they had one bad game. It's this a career-changing, defying thing. What? How you figure? Tell me how somebody who won 4 championships or 3 championships can lose in his next finals and that defined his whole career. What? Do you see the level of stupidity in the sports media? And leading off is a Skip Bayless. Shit. Is the Stephen A's. When you allow people who refuse to be highly informed, and this shit where people pull up a bunch of stats and read them off to you, that's not being informed. That's legitimately looking at the stat sheet. And these motherfuckers is on big networks. They can ask anybody in the stats department to bring up stats for them to make them sound smart. I don't care about that. I care about motherfuckers actually looking at the games and talking about what they see. That's why I had a problem with the media talking about Baltimore as much as they love to talk about Baltimore. Because y'all talk about Baltimore because Lamar Jackson. But y'all not actually watching these games. That's why when they lose, you blame Lamar. When they win, you give Lamar the credit. Or you try to give it to somebody else. That is odd how they do that. But, again, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Skip Bayless' bitch ass. Skip Bayless to me is a problem. He been a problem. At this point, the only reason he is still employed because of ratings, which the fact that he is getting credited for those ratings is wild to me. Like, you cannot tell me you can't find somebody with a high level of energy to put beside Shannon Sharp and to have the show grow into something else. You could have put Joy Taylor across from him. You could put LaShawn McCoy from across Shannon Sharp, and they gonna have a great conversation. Just don't pick Nick Wright across from him, bro. I don't want to see that. You can give him and Colin Cowherd a show. Anything. Colin Cowherd too big to have a show like that now where he got to divvy up talking time. He ain't divvying up too much talking time, bro. He don't really care too much about your points. He trying to get his shit off. That's why he where he at. That's why he got the herd. But shout out, like I said before, shout out to Shannon Sharp. I don't know how he do it. It's no fucking way in hell that I could ever sit down, be as accomplished as a person as Shannon Sharp is, and allow somebody like a Skip Bayless to disrespect me every fucking time he feel like it when he mad because I said something that he don't like. That's ridiculous. That's not how best friends or friends, well, fake friends do that shit to each other, where they petty like that and they constantly trying to one up each other or disrespect each other because one person said something. But it's not even like that because Shannon don't do that. Like, I'd understand if Shannon was taking personal shots at Skip. That's not what's happening. And then Skip today yells like a child, well, you started it. What? He started it because he was critiquing what he saw from Tom Brady. So you said to yourself, yeah, well, he taking shots at Tom Brady, even though he was just critiquing what he saw. The motherfucker just lost 7-35. But to you, you heard, oh, fuck Tom Brady. So you said to yourself, well, let me take personal shots at the man who I come and work with every fucking day. Like, if I'm Shannon, it's no way behind the scenes. And I love money. I'm big enough to where I can make more of that now. I do not want to continue to work with somebody who is going to disrespect me at the drop of a dime because he don't like what I say about Tom Brady. It was a great run. It was a beautiful run. I'm at the end of this run. I cannot continue to do this because if it continue to happen, I'm going to lose my professionalism and put my hands on this motherfucker. Now, I don't think Shannon would ever do that, but he going to lose his professionalism and say some shit to him one day. And that's going to be the shit. And then people going to look at it, oh, Shannon did this, Shannon. But how many times is Skip going to be allowed to just poke the bear, as white people like to say? How many times is Skip going to be allowed to disrespect Shannon Sharp before he get... How many times is he going to be able to fuck around till he find out, as my people love to say? But somehow an old white man got on Twitter and he somehow made the shit popular for some reason. Gentrification. It's an amazing thing. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. How many times is Skip gonna be allowed to fuck around till he find out? And I ain't talking about find out where he get these hands put on him, get these paws put on him. No. I'm talking about for Shannon just start up verbally assassinating this month, verbally assaulting him. Because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And I can almost guarantee you, like, I don't have no inner workings of this thing. I don't know how this go. I've never worked on a big network before, so I couldn't tell you truly how these things are behind the scenes. But do you really think somebody said something to him after the thing, or do you think they love the ratings? Even though I don't think this is something that get ratings. I also don't think people enjoy this in the sense that the TV networks think. I think people enjoy this because they like, finally Shannon stopped like he stood up for himself, even though I hate that phrase in this type of situation. But finally he wasn't okay with just being disrespected constantly. And I'm telling you, man, I don't know how Shannon do it, because it just couldn't be me. Like, I really don't get it. I really don't. The man critiques Tom Brady, but now you just start taking personal shots at the man's career. Like, what? it just couldn't be me, man. Shout out to Shannon Sharp, but that's all I had to say on the topic, bro. Because I ran across that shit and I was like, bro, I want to make a video about this. I want to dedicate a little bit of time to this. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit was ridiculous. And I done seen this happen so many times. That's the crazy part. This ain't the first time Shannon done had his career personally attacked by Skip Bayless. The worst part, Shannon was not a bum. Nowhere near. He was one of the greats of the game. When you talk about football, you talk about Shannon Sharp. When you talk about the long history, you can't talk about the history of tight ends, football, without talking about Shannon Sharp. So the fact that a motherfucker could get that offended over nothing, that's my thing. It'd be different if Shannon was actually taking personal shot. Shannon legitimately doing his job. And now because he's doing his job, he's getting shots at. Now, could you imagine if this was the other way around? Could you imagine if it was Shannon who was constantly attacking Skip personally? I couldn't imagine the outrage on that. But this is why, to close, for every Shannon and Sharp in the world that deal with a Skip Bayless the way he do, you need a Jalen Rose to deal with that motherfucker the way Jalen Rose did. And with that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me on a quick episode of Kicking It with Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with him. Tell somebody you love him. Happy holidays, yo. Happy. When I say holidays, that's like all of them. That ain't just Christmas. That's any of the holidays that happen around it. Hanukkah, Christmas, and all the other holidays I'm forgetting. Tell somebody, once again, tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. Hey, yo, real quick, yo. I didn't even mean to. This motherfucker, what's this man's name? The head coach for the Cardinals. What is this man? Hey, regardless, it's a handsome motherfucker. And I don't say that a lot. And I know some motherfucker be like, bro, this dude really closed the show by telling us that Cliff Kingsbury was a handsome motherfucker. But I'm just telling you, bro, I'm very secure in myself to tell you, that's a handsome motherfucker. And what you really should be weirded out by is the fact that I'm a black man telling you that another white man is a handsome individual. But Cliff Kingsbury shouldn't be coaching. That motherfucker too handsome to be coaching. I'm just saying. But with that being said, it ain't a bad gig. Tell somebody you fuck with them for the third time. Tell somebody you love them for the third time. And I'm dead ass serious. Do that 3 times. It don't hurt. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking or something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.